Good morning, good morning, good morning. And you're welcome. This is, well, it's not as bad as it could be, but this is what I woke up like this morning. And if you're saying, Cammie, I saw you on Instagram yesterday and you had that shirt on. Yes, I did. Call it quarantine living. I put my jammies on last night, woke up this morning and thought, it's not dirty. I'll put it back on. I'm going to, so we're going to call it, this is what life of quarantine looks like. Good morning. Jump on, say hi. Tell me where you're streaming in from. I am so excited. I'm sitting poolside right now. The weather is gorgeous. And I've just been praying for so much wisdom. I've been like, God, you cannot have enough wisdom. And obviously wisdom that doesn't lead to obedience doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but wisdom helps us have a different perspective that we might not otherwise have. So, Lord, give me wisdom, give me knowledge, give me discernment. It's been my prayer. And as I've been praying, I felt like, you know what? I need the discipline, and it fires me up to be able to share and connect with others. And since I can't do it in person right now with the social distancing, we can do it right here together. Good morning, Usher. How are you? Susie, good morning. Kim, I'm excited for our Bible study time here soon. Carla, good morning. So as we're all jumping on here, feel free to share this. If you know others need encouragement, I was just going to have some coffee with you this morning. I'm having my skinny brew. And I don't know about you guys, but it takes me about an hour to drink my coffee just because it's always scalding hot and I'm all over the place a little bit. So that's just what happens. Good morning, Melanie. How are you? Jessica, good morning. I hope you all are doing well. A couple things I was thinking I wanted to talk about this morning, especially as officially I've become a homeschool mama this week. Anybody else in that boat? You've got your kids at home or you've got friends with kids at home. You might have heard some of the funny stories from this week. And I would say if anybody was Canada's in the house. I love it. If anybody was grading me this morning for this last week of homeschooling, I think I'd get a solid C. Solid C. Part of it is because, we say all the time, don't allow things to happen by chance. Make the intentional decisions, put plans in place, or your life's going to happen to you, but you can point it in the right direction when you take control versus living on autopilot. And I lived on autopilot a bit this week between work, transitioning to being at home and the team and everybody doing that. The fear that has come along with the season that we're in with the coronavirus and social distancing, but also just the reality of homeschooling and getting those systems in place. And so didn't get a real great, good morning, Chuck. I wouldn't say I had the best week. I wouldn't say I was a big winning mom this week, but I will say this. I learned a lot this week and I know what I'm going to do moving forward. Can anybody relate to that? Because we are going to have a routine. Like we're literally going to have a wake up in the morning, breakfast, get ready by this time. I don't care if you put on your loungy clothes. At least I don't have to wear a uniform here at home. But then we're going to spend time I'm going to put a serious schedule in place. And some of you might be like, duh, Cammie, it took you this long to figure that out. Yes, it did. Because it just did. It just did. I lived a little reactively this week rather than proactively. And I feel like that's what my prayer's been this morning more than anything is, Lord, give me wisdom. Like, give me undeniable wisdom through this season, because I really believe, we can either waste this season and look back and go, wow, I can't believe how that hit me, or we can use this season and not waste it, because I really believe God knew this was coming and he is going to use it for our good. But we have to decide to be a part of that good or just live reactively and frustrated and worrying. I am not going to live worrying, because that does not make you wiser. Don't get me wrong. Like, we should be concerned. We should be watching and listening, but don't allow that concern to control you. And that's the difference between worry and concern, for sure. But, okay, I read something this morning and I thought, all right, this has to be our affirmation for all week long. Does anybody else need an affirmation for the week? Because I'm always looking for new affirmations. Good morning, Katie. How are you? Anybody else drinking their coffee right now? And if you're drinking skinny brew, like me, then your coffee's doing more than just waking you up in the morning. Just saying. But okay. Listen to what my devotional said this morning. It says, let them continually say, let the Lord be magnified who has pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. And I thought, ooh, that sounds good. Give me more to that. God takes pleasure in prospering me. What if every day this week we woke up in the morning, looked in the mirror and said, God takes pleasure in prospering you, Cammie. God takes pleasure in prospering you, Kristen. God takes pleasure in prospering you, Christy, Tiffany. Saying that. God takes pleasure in prospering me. Hearing that and letting those words just fall over you. In the Good News translation, it says, God is pleased with the success of his people. God is pleased with your success, Cammie. God delights in prospering you, Cammie. God delights in blessing you with peace, Cammie. That's what the NLT New Living Translation says. So I'm going to use those various versions as affirmations each morning this week. Cammie, God delights in blessing you with peace. I receive that peace and I'm going to live in peace. God delights in prospering you, Cammie. Yes, he does. Thank you, Lord. So that's going to be the thing. And you know what? I was reading a devotional several years ago, and the woman said, you steer where you stare. And I'm going to stare at God's desire to bless me and for me to live in prosperity and success and peace. I'm not going to look at what could happen, what I worry might happen, all the worst side glass half empty things, because then I'm going to be moving towards the wrong things. And I want to move right now towards the right things. So in times of stress, in times of pressure, that's when sometimes the best ideas, the most exciting things come, because we're put into pressure, and pressure forces us sometimes to think innovatively with a fresh perspective. And that's going to be my prayer for us during this time. So I see y'all jumping on here. Tiffany, I love you too. You're so sweet. Hi, Alicia Roma. How are you? I haven't seen you in forever. Hey, just a little fun fact. Dr. Darius Daniel is doing a daily little message. And it's at 7:00 at night, but he's posting those on YouTube, and he's already done a week's worth. So I just finished up day 1, 2, and 3 this morning. Excited to dive in the rest, but I'm going to watch that every morning as part of my morning routine. And if you're looking for just that positive jump start to the day, check it out. So let's have coffee together, and let's really work on, I'm thinking that's going to be a 7:30 a.m. thing. And if it's going to change, I'll let you know. But let's meet together. Get our mindset on the right things the day above. Let's do our affirmations together, so mark this page so you don't miss it. And God takes pleasure in prospering us. Do you believe that? I believe that. God takes pleasure in prospering you, Cammie. Yes, he does. God takes pleasure in blessing me financially, physically, even in my health. And he delights in prospering us. He delights in our peace, and he delights in the success. And so, I'm going to set my mind on that today. Susie, you said Darius who? Dr. Darius Daniels, and it's Dharius, Daniel. Go to YouTube. You're going to find it. It's amazing. I'll try to put it in my story today. But, yeah. Okay, you guys have a great Saturday.